Does that make sense, Max?
Yes, it sounds super great. It's like a great kind of vertical framework to do your own festival, I would say
Yeah.
in a way. So I like it, and I will start thinking how to develop on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
You got it.
I'm glad you got it without saying it, because that's one way of looking at the gathering. It's a festival of festivals.
Like a framework, framework for your festival.
I always define it as such, as a frame. Yeah. And I mean, you're putting your finger exactly on the core of it, which is a lot of camps will come and really use that space for team building, right? Like, it doesn't have to be completely external. This doesn't have to be about you sharing your project with everyone in the space. There is also this, but the fact that we are taking care of all the infrastructure and the logistics means that there is a really easy entry basically for initiatives to come in and just like be in that space with people who are thinking a lot about similar questions. Yeah, and build a space within that. Yeah. Yeah, Nadia.
I have a question. So in terms of whether it's tickets or anything else in terms of next steps, what do you guys need from us and when? So I'm guessing like I guess our prices or our logistics and things like that as well.
Yeah. So when? As soon as possible. The sooner the better. Again, we're already onboarding camps. The gathering is in September, so the sooner we start selling tickets, the better it is for everyone. What do we need from you? So the process to be on board and building camp at the gathering is as follow. We have a chat, you're excited, you like the idea, you want to build a camp. We record what we call a commit video, which is basically, I can send you some examples. It's basically you saying, hi, I am Nadia from the Impact Collective in Madeira. I commit to building a camp at the gathering. This is what we want to bring to that space. And this is why we're coming. That's it. This is our innovative approach of contracts, basically. Contracts are boring. No one wants to do them. They're mostly a pain. So that replaces this bit. Once you have done that, you come and attend the Nest, which is the name of our camp incubator. There are online meetings that happen with all the camp builders once every 2 weeks. And in the Nest, we take you through how to define your budget. We can send you templates, how to define your camp page on our websites, and that's it. And any other logistical details. We put you in touch with some suppliers if you want to rent out materials from them and so on. Step 3, your tickets go live on the website. You share the link to your camp page with all the people you want to invite to your camp. And step 4, we meet at the gathering.
Cool. And when are the timings for the incubator and the videos
Yeah.
and all that stuff?
So the video, you can do it anytime. We can open a Telegram group, just send us the video, or we do it together. The Nest is happening, so there is one next Wednesday, 6th of March, from 2 to 3:30 p.m. GMT, Portugal time. But we will schedule our sessions in the late evening European time so that the Latin American camps can join also.
Okay, so we should have the video and our ticket prices figured out before next Wednesday, or
You don't have to have them figured out before. We can figure them out together during the Nest.
okay.
Yeah, the Nest is kind of like picture a open co-working space for all the camp builders. Yeah. But I can send you a link to the camp builders drive folder that we have, which has all the templates for budgeting and so on, which can be helpful. Yeah.
Please do. I'm also interested. So I'll drop my email here if it's
Sure.
possible.
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat here and I can follow up with you guys via email afterwards. Anything else, Nadia? Does that answer?
Should I jump?
Please.
I have a question. Each camp should be related to a specific community or group, or should be also a combination of more communities and groups, like a partnership among communities?
Victor, I'll
I
let you
can,
take that one.
yeah, I can take that. I mean, the answer is what makes sense for you. You know, here is this space, 5 days together, and what will make sense for you. It could make sense if you have a tight community and you want to have like a semi-community retreat, you have it more closed. It could make sense, and I think it makes sense for all of us, right? A key way that we all work and collaborate is much more open. We have partners, we have people who work a lot, and gather all of those things, you know, your extended community together. So yeah, I mean, it's really, in many ways, the gathering, this is the second edition. It's an experiment. It's for all of us to figure out. So it's just think of what will make sense for you. And also, I like to joke, don't ask what you need to do for the gathering, ask what the gathering can do for you. Think of how this can fit into with your tribes, your organization's development. You know, do you want more people to join? Do you want more people to buy your services? Or do you need to go deeper with the people you already have? Right? So the answer is think of what makes sense for you and make the invitation around that.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
We tend to say that a tribe is, you know, we don't believe in the concept that you have to be an incorporated organization in the eyes of some governments to call yourself a tribe. A group of humans, two humans being a group already, that somehow share values and have energy to do something together is a tribe. And then some tribes have a lot of capacity and a lot of people, and they will have their own camp. But then we already have a lot of tribes that are coming together because they're already working in a similar theme, basically. So we have, for example, a large regenerative communications camp, and this camp is made up of 5 or 6 organizations, 5 or 6 freelancers. So a lot of people that are just like, yes, we want to work on Regen comms for 5 days together in that space. So there's a lot of flexibility, and this is how we designed it, right? To not just have the possibility for this flexibility, but to really invite it in the space, and to see what comes out of it. There will also be people who will be building a camp because they don't have a project right now. They're freelancing, but they like one another and they feel like they may be able to create something together, and this will be their ideation space. Yeah, you can really create around it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Nadia, you had a question, I think.
Back to the ticketing and how that's
Yeah.
gonna work. So since you guys are managing the ticketing, which is great, so thank you. How will it be displayed? Is it like each tribe will be on the ticket page with their different prices, and so people can also see what are the different options, and it can be, well, I guess whether it's open to everyone or to specific people. How will you guys manage that?
You want to take it, Victor, or I can?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly that. Each camp will have its own page, and from that page, people will be able to buy a ticket to the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine you have the Impact Collective camp. So you will go on the website, click on camps. You will have all the camp pages. Click on the Impact Collective camp, or whatever your camp may be. This is what we're about. This is what we want to bring to the gathering. These are the activities we will run. Our tickets are open. Anyone can join us. Or they're hybrid. You have to fill in this form if you want to join us. This is our camp price. People won't see the breakdown, right? Of like 100 euros goes to gathering and it doesn't matter. And that's it. And then we will define how that runs exactly, but probably on a quarterly basis. We will send you a report of you have sold that many tickets, or more often, depending. This is the total sum, make your transfer, and that's it. Yeah. And just to add, there is a big piece around linking all those camps together, right? And having them to speak to one another. So when it comes to the program, all the activities and the content that will be created in the space of the gathering, this is also something that will be brought forward at the nest in the camp incubation. I'm doing this on Thursday at, I don't know, 3 p.m., you know, and I want everyone to be there. And another camp will be, yeah, but we're doing something super similar. And how about we do it together and so on and so forth, right? So it will still be again hybrid, but we're trying to bring the sense of coherence as well between camps. Yeah. The idea being, that's why we call it a camp incubation, that you don't just collaborate at the gathering or after the gathering. The process of doing this together and of running this experiment together already brings us into collaboration. And we have no idea, right? We will see what emerges. That's the whole point, is that we just open the spaces and then we'll see what happens. So yeah.
So the kind of target amount of humans for the event is like 600, yeah?
Oh, 700-800.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Why?
Now, just looking at the calculations of the sheet for 500, I look at the venue website that they mentioned that it's expecting 600 person gathering later this year, and I'm trying to find what is the amount of toilets and showers there, but I don't see that
Uh,
information yet.
Yeah, we're taking care of it, but they have 12 or 13 toilets, which is more than enough. And showers also not a problem. They have a lot, a huge lake. I think they have 6 showers total or 7, a huge lake, jacuzzi situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's water everywhere on this land, basically. Yeah.
So for 15 camps, the kind of average size of the camp would be like 40 people.
We're thinking more around 25 camps-ish and
Mhm.
around 20 to 25 people per camp.
Okay.
But some camps will have 100 people. Yeah. And some camps will have 5.
Probably 5 no, but probably 10, yeah. But we'll see. I mean, it's an experiment. Yeah, it's and by experiment, I don't mean like, you know, we're here conducting experiments in humans that's clearly illegal, but more as in let's have fun with this and let's be playful and yeah, let's see what emerges. And the whole goal really is to unlock creativity. And so we can surprise ourselves with what comes out. And that's why we're trying to have as little of like, you know, the camp must be 35 to 48 people, no more, no less, because, you know, like, well, maybe somebody will come with a great idea for a camp of 100 people, or they'll have an amazing idea for a camp of 5 people, and it'll just like be the most amazing thing ever. So let's play with it, right? We don't know. I think for one thing that I really love about regeneration is that there is so much that we don't know. And we're all on this journey discovering it together. And similarly with this event, right? We want to make it as open as possible and really remove the barriers to being playful and creative, like the annoying shit of having to sell tickets or having to worry about are there toilets or what am I going to eat, you know? So we really want to create a very easy, fun place where people can be creative with the format and see what does it mean to be a camp? What does it mean to be a tribe? How can we be together in nature for 5 days in a way which results in action and connection? You know, we're a new movement. Why should we be repeating the old stale formats of conferences and trade shows?
So it is an experiment on humans, Victor, yeah.
That's one way of look at it. Or the other way you can look at it is we're like kids, we're out in the playground, and what game are we going to play? You know, there aren't adults telling us what the rules are. So we got to figure out together what the rules are.
Yeah, I love it. I just asked for the number, maybe, you know, to kind of nurture my imagination in this context. Yeah, I'm not even thinking about some kind of limits up and down, but just to have like way to imagine. I've done many events in my life. The largest I've done it's like 1,500 people. So yeah, but I have some ideas. I need to think about it, but definitely I'm super excited to do something.
Nice. Yeah, if you want to know more about the land as well, there's photos from the land in the folder.
I'm already
But
open that
you're
and I'm
already all
already
over
like
it.
browsing.
Okay,
Yeah. That's like
fine. I have, yeah. You can reach out to me if you have any specific questions. But yeah.
Speaking of the land, how does it work in terms of who gets what land, or I guess also in terms of us designing the space around each of our allocated places?
I must say, you guys have a really good question. So we were on the land with Victor last week. We worked from there for 5 days. And we had a good walk around and already kind of started dividing up the spaces approximately, right, in our minds. The way it will work is that we will be working over the next couple weeks to predefine spaces that can be camp spaces. Large camps, small camps, loud camps, quiet camps, camps that need water, so on and so forth. And we will come up with a map with suggestions. This will be, again, can be changed and it will depend on your needs and what you communicate to us, basically. And then we will bring that map to the nest and yeah, start collecting people's wish lists, what's good for them, what's not so great. Do you want to be in the center of the action? Do you want to be a bit outside? And then we will assign plots basically to the camps. Yeah. So the idea is that you arrive on spot and you have a camp. Like there is a sign with your name on it, and this is your space, and this is the space you're playing with. Yeah.
I think
Are we
it
doing
should be
signs
also
for every camp?
based on the ticket sales, right? So, you know, someone can say, okay, I want this land, but there's like 10 tickets, so 20 tickets sold, and there's someone that sold 100. So kind of
Exactly.
according
Yeah.
to this.
Yeah, the way we will do it is that we will ask you guys, which you will see is in the budget already, how many tickets do you plan to sell? You know, like what is your ideal scenario? We will start with this, and depending on how many tickets are actually sold, we will adapt and change if and where needed. Yeah. Yeah, and I think for this, so this is not done yet, but yeah, I will somehow, I need to think for it, but I will share some information about the spaces that we have more or less and what each space has in terms of elements. Again, where is it located? Is it next to the lake or not, and so on, so that you guys can already sort of build an idea of what is possible and play with that. Yeah.
Also for the planning, it would be kind of important for me to see what are other people planning, like kind of themes or concepts, maybe to
Yeah.
be complementary, not competing. And this is how we
Yeah.
build the synergy, and this is how we build like the amazing experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, all the camp information will be public on the website, but also this Drive folder that I shared with you is for you camp builders to use, right? So I hope you can play around with it. There is something that came up recently from the camp builders, which was how about we together agree on some slots? This is just a suggestion, but we agree on some slots, 1 hour or 2 hours a day, so that we can, if a camp wants to organize an event and wants many people to come to it, this is the slot with like one large event. And each camp has access to like one of the slots over the whole 5 days, and you can work around that. So the events are not competing with one another. A suggestion, I don't know, but this is an idea of how it will go. Yeah. Or it can go. Yeah. And we can share with you as well, but we're using Airtable for our database, our CRM. In Airtable, we have a tab which is for committed camps. And this tab has details of who is the camp leader, what is their theme, or what sphere of regeneration do they evolve in. And this is already a nice mapping exercise, who will be there. Yeah.
I'm super interested in that. If you can share, I'm
Sure.
super interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Are you guys, as the host organization, planning on doing any bigger, like, well, not, doesn't have to be bigger, but events? Or are you, I mean, I realize managing this process is enough to do in itself.
So we're, I mean, we're making happen. We're not facilitating it ourselves, and opening and a closing ceremony. That's it.
Yeah, a big part of the vision, I mean, from Victor, and I'm really on board with it, of this is our role is to create the space and then to disappear within the space. So in the spirit of co-creation and a bottom-up approach, we're super conscious of the dynamics that can happen. So we don't have a camp, we don't have activities. Yeah, we will really just be space holders there. Yeah. So this is about the camps. It's not about organizing this. Yeah. And the idea being that Gathering of Tribes is everyone's space. That's the whole point.
And sorry to be annoying about the logistics project management, but with the
No.
opening and closing ceremony, do you guys already have planned in terms of when those would be, or what times, things like that?
I think it will be the same because, I mean, to be honest, I wish this event was 1 week long, but since we're starting, 5 days is already pretty long to get people to come. Though now there's pop-up cities which last 2 or 3 months, and I'm like, wow, we're not so ambitious. The opening ceremony will be, let's say, sunset of the first day, and the closing circle, so that's the Wednesday, and the, sorry, do I understand are you disagreeing, Audrey?
No, not at all. I was trying to copy a
Okay.
link for
Okay,
Max.
I
Oh,
thought
sorry.
so. So yeah, the opening circle at sunset of the first day, and the closing circle at midday of the on Sunday.
Thanks.
Do you have any suggestions that camp organizers should arrive earlier, stay longer? Like, what's your point of view on that?
So we have 5 days. We've secured the land for 5 days beforehand for building, and for 2 days afterwards for unbuilt. The last night, which is the Sunday, we negotiated for it to stay open if people wanted to stay as a decompression space. We assume there may be about 10 to 20% of the people who will be joining for the build. No suggestions, or honestly, whatever works for you, basically. But this is the space. 5 days event, 2 days build down.
Great.
Yeah. And so this will be defined as well and written down, but in the build, so we have access to the land, and there will be access to sanitation and water, and the community kitchens. There won't be probably food vending, to be discussed, but there probably won't be food vending, which is quite standard. And we don't know if there's going to be access to glamping. To be discussed. Yeah, actually, since you guys are deep on the project management, which I love, so there is options for glamping, which will be provided by the garden, by the land, up until we sell out, and then we have another provider if needed. I will put the prices for those in the camp budget. Haven't done it yet, but they will be in there. So the idea is that whenever people buy a ticket, they have the option to add a glamping if they want to. And then we will need to design the spaces with this. Still undecided. Will depend on a lot of things.
Okay, let's go back to work and make it happen.
That's the spirit.
What's probably also worth mentioning is, I mean, other than the camp incubator, which you're invited once you decide to make a camp. The first step, by the way, is to make a little commitment to camp video. I don't know if you've seen those, just our kind of fun, more human way of having like an MOU type contract that you're going to come and make it happen. We also have the questioning regeneration series, where we explore questions in different spheres of regeneration. Next one is next week. Those are also fun. What we're trying to really do is start building the culture of engaging in a constructive way with questions, with each other, and exploring the way the different areas of exploring the depth and the interconnection of the different areas of regeneration and related spheres, right? I mean, there's lots of things which are connected, which don't call themselves regenerative, whether it's conscious leadership or Web3 or beneficial AI. There's many spheres, sociocracy, there's many spheres of kind of pieces of the mosaic of building a new world, which don't call themselves regenerative something, but are very much part of this idea space of building a new reality.
That's great, Guy. I need to go. Thank you. And I'll come back to you with like a more detailed plan.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Max.
See ya.
Thanks,
Ciao.
Max.
Ciao,
By the
ciao,
way,
see
we
ya.
haven't heard from Glomos at all.
I wonder if she's silently listening in from her
I'm back
presume
now.
she is.
I've just been working.
Cool.
It's super exciting to hear everything that you're planning, and I'm super excited to like tune in and just start learning about all the planning, the details, and I hope to make it. So it would be amazing to go and capture content and record and plan something around. And then also we were talking about doing the live streams and everything with all the workshops. So I'm really
Beautiful.
interested in working together, and yeah, I've just been preparing a lot right now and been going through a transformation of being sick. So I'm excited to envision next week. But yeah, once I get through this portal, I'm gonna have a lot of space after envision.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Great. Well,
good luck for
please
that.
sow the seeds of the gathering. So it's the other part of the world. I mean, in the long run, the big dream is to have gatherings in other continents as well. I'm going to go to the region week in Tulum to talk to people. I think it makes sense to do something like this in North America, South America, Asia, but will be opportunistic where there are people on the ground and partners. One idea I have that for doing something in North America, it'd be cool to do it as coming together of a number of other existing event organizers. So yeah, please sow the seed.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, we have another event that's not similar to Gathering of the Tribe. Well, it's similar at Wild Seeds Ranch in San Diego for 6 weeks in June. They're doing a collab with the Earth and Build and having more workshops and things like that. So I'll put a link in for Wild Seeds Ranch as well.
Nice, thank you.
And
Yeah.
Jordan is a part of Cohere Network, and he's actually looking to come to Europe in the summer as well. to look up properties to make communities, so.
Nice. Amazing.
Great.
Nadia, Claudette, did you have any other questions before we jump off?
No, I'm fine. I will get back in touch, really. Also joining the Telegram group. And yes, I mean, me and Nadia are talking about doing this together. So this is why I was asking about the partnership before.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, but thank you.
sounds good. Great.
Beautiful.
Okay. Thank you so much. We keep in touch. If you have any questions, I'm around. Just drop me a message on Telegram or LinkedIn or wherever. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you all. Nice meeting
Thank
you.
you all for
Ciao.
coming.
Bye.
Bye-bye.